Everybody, welcome to Stamping with Melva. I'm Melva Peters, and today I'm here to show you a new product suite from the January to June mini catalog from Stampin' Up that launches on January 5th. I'm a little ahead of myself. So I wanted to share with you, I posted this card on my blog today, and I just wanted to share some tips and tricks on making it. I absolutely am in love with this product suite. I knew as soon as I saw it that I would have to have it, and there is a really cool new embellishment that comes with this product suite that I'll share with you. So let me just switch over to my desktop and we'll get started. Okay. So this is the card that I shared, and can you see this amazing gold embellishment on here? That's I just absolutely love it. Let me show it to you. It's Gilded Leafing Embellishment from Stampin' Up. So it comes in a package like this. I'll show you what I've done with it. So the stamp set it's a stamp set on dies, and it's two-step stamping. And so on my card, I've used Poppy Parade and Petal Pink along with Old Olive for the leaves. So the dies come with some sentiments, as well as the dies to cut out the flowers, as well as some really pretty scalloped edge labels. Okay, so let me show you. And the other thing that I've used on this card is the embossing folder. It looks like gesso to me. I can't remember actually the name of this embossing folder, but I'll put it with the supplies on the list. But it looks like gesso. If you've ever played with gesso or mixed media, it's like use a palette knife. It's like plaster, where you just kind of plaster it on, and it gives you this amazing technique. Okay, so let's get started. So for my card, I've got Poppy Parade, and this all of the instructions and measurements will be on my blog. So this piece is cut 5.5 by 8.5 to give me a standard card base. So I'm just folding it in half and scoring it. And then I have a piece of Petal Pink, which is going to be the first layer, and then I've got some scraps for stamping on. So the first thing I'm going to do is run my Petal Pink through this embossing folder. Put it in like this. I've got my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine here, and I'll run it through just off camera. All right. Okay, so can you see? I'm not sure. Can you see this amazing texture? I just love it. Okay, so that's the first thing that we're going to do. Now, what I want to do next is bring in the gilded leafing. Now, what I did was I took my gilded leafing and I put it into a big container. You can see this is really thin, and it's so light, it just is fly away. And and it sticks. So in order to use it, it's stuck to my nail. I've got gold on my nail. So in order to use it, I just find it easier to have it in a big container than to fuss with the jar. Now, the other thing that Stampin' Up has brought back is heat and stick powder. So what I want to do is, using Versamark, which is here, I'm just going to run the Versamark over the edge as if I was sponging, not worrying about, how big or how thick it is or how much I've got on and whether it's even. I'm just kind of running the Versamark over the edge. Now I'm going to take my heat and stick powder. Let me just grab a piece of grid paper that I can put underneath this so that I don't get the heat and stick powder stuck all over and pour it back in. Now, heat and stick powder is just a way to get things, as it says, you heat and then you stick to it. So you won't be able to see this. Let me just put it here, put this back. There, like that, put the lid on so I don't knock this over. And back on. Now I've got my heat tool, and I apologize for the noise. For a minute, I'll try and talk loud, but we'll get this, the heat and stick. So you use it just like you were using embossing powder. You'll be able to see when it starts to melt. It definitely gets darker on the edge. So you can start to see, hopefully on camera, where it's getting a darker pink color. I have to burn my fingers. There. All right. Now, what I'll do is, the reason I like this big container, some people take it and use their fingers to grab the leafing, but I find it's just as easy because I've got a big container. Now I've cut one of the sponges in a quarter, and now I'll just take the sponge, and now I don't have it all over the place. It still does get over, still spreads out, but I can kind of contain it to where I want it by having it in this big container. So you can see where I had the Versamark and then the heat and stick powder, that my Gilded Leafing has stuck very nicely to my cardstock. Let's get the edges there. And then I will put the stragglers back in the container. And you can see I haven't got too big of a mess. All right, so that's what it looks like. Isn't this amazing? And it's kind of like using, you could use gold embossing powder. This just is shinier than the gold embossing powder. The gold embossing powder has a bit of a matte finish. Actually, I'm just gonna, I've got a spot here that I'd like a little bit of leafing on, so let's see if I can actually just, the heat and stick powder actually holds for, will stay sticky for a bit of time so that you can go back. You can also go back and heat it up and apply it again. There, got a little bit more on there. Okay, that's my Versamark. So now that that's done, this piece just adheres using my Stampin' Seal to the front of the card. There, like that. All right. So the next thing I want to do is bring my scrap in, and I've got some memento. Actually, I don't need the memento. I've got some of my three colors. I've got Poppy Parade, Petal Pink, and Old Olive. And we'll bring the stamp set in. So it's two, as I said, two-step stamping. So we'll just get the images that I need. Two for the flower, and the stems, and I thank you for. All right. So on my card, I did it Petal Pink and Poppy Parade. So I did the more solid image in Petal Pink. So I'll stamp that first. That's my petal pink. And then my Poppy Parade over top of it. And it's pretty easy to actually line this up. It doesn't go, you know, it's more abstract, so it's not critical that you line it up perfectly. Isn't that amazing? All right. Oh, and I'll stamp my thank you while I've got it. But first we'll make sure I have room for my leaves and stem like that. And then my thank you. We'll stamp on that. There, now I've got everything stamped. And I'll just take the dies. I've got them here. So there's my leaf. Right. Let's put this on. And then I can just take this to my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. All right, so that's the leaves. And this is the flower. I should be able to cut this all out at once. And then the little label. Okay, let's gently take this to my machine. And run this through. Okay. And there are my pieces. The die is out. Don't lose those. There we go. Okay, there's my dies. All right, so there's my pieces. And now it's just a matter of using some dimensionals to put these pieces on my card base. Where did my flower image? Oh, there it is. Okay. Use some take your pick tool works really well to take these mini dimensionals off. I find I can't get them on my fingers. And then some mini ones on the label because it's quite small. There we go. Let's put this on first. I'm just going to put it roughly where I think I want it. I won't press it down until I get my label on. Let's put this, there we go. That can go there. That can go there. And then that can go like that. I guess I could have pulled it down farther. Oh well, it's okay. All right, so there's my card. You can see how easy the Gilded Leafing embellishment is to use. Kind of once you've got the hang of it and figured out how you're going to handle it all. I love it. I've been using it. You can use it on the flower itself. So instead of doing where I did dark, you could do the whole thing dark, the background dark, and then stamp and use the Gilded Leafing on the flower itself, which is really pretty. There's so many uses for the Gilded Leafing. It's just such a fun product. I can't wait to play with it some more. Okay, so let me just switch over. There we go. So thanks very much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed that. As I said, all of the instructions for this card are on my blog as well as the measurements. So I'll put the link below the video so that you can check it out. I'd love for you to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I do post on a regular basis new videos as I post to my blog, and so I hope you'll subscribe, and that way you'll get notified when I post new videos. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have comments or you have questions, please leave it on the YouTube video or on my blog. I definitely would respond and help you out with your questions. So thanks very much for joining me. Bye, everybody.